All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Kenneth Obebo, and welcome to the last class of our four-part series. It's been a month journey, and it's been interesting. We've covered the basics of data analytics using Excel. So our introduction, our entering data, formatting. Last week, we touched basic calculation, and this week, we are going to take off from there. I'm going to get back to the assignment review later. So thank you all to everyone who submitted the assignment. And for those who have joined the class, thank you all very much. And I know a couple of us will join the class as we make progress, but the class has to go forward. Robinson, you're welcome. So I'm sure people will join us as we make progress. Eden, thank you for always coming in early. And, last week you asked me, oh, I deserve a gift. Yes, I thought about it. You deserve a gift. I already thought about it before you came in early today. So when you came in early today, you just submitted it. Send me your email. I'm going to send you a PDF Excel manual. Of course, it's something I had developed some while back. So it's some of the things we have covered, but it gives you like a hard copy of all the things I'm saying. So instead of hearing it, you can also see it. So after the class, just send me your email address. I'm going to send a PDF to you. So I'm on module 8, and we are going to touch on go a little further in our basic calculations, apply some of the things we have learned, but what we actually want to learn is cell reference. How does Excel make references? Looking at the assignment, I saw one or two people make some mistakes in their referencing. So this will help you understand how Excel works when it comes to cell reference. Excel is not a magic, it's a program. It's not magical, it's a program. So it doesn't know what you are thinking except you give it direct instructions. So if you have opened module 8, we can go straight into learning about cell reference in Excel. All right, so I'm on module 8, and I'm going to teach 3 basic references. Even though we actually have 4, I'm going to teach 3 today. The 4th we usually teach in the intermediate advanced class. So, but virtually every calculation you will do, basic, intermediate, even advanced calculation, these 3 references will do for you. And of course, the first one is direct reference. And I'm going to teach relative reference, which is the default setting in Excel. And then finally, I'm going to teach absolute reference, which is something very useful when you start doing calculations in Excel. So let's start with our direct reference. I'm sure you cannot see my screen, right?
Yes,
hello.
sir.
Okay, I need to confirm that you can see my screen. So I am on the first sheet of this module 8, which says direct reference. Now, what is direct reference in Excel? Direct reference in Excel is when you point a cell to a certain location to go get information. So it's like if I want to give you a direct information, like go to house number 10 on XYZ Street. That's a very direct reference. But I can, if I want to do a relative reference, I can say when you get to house number 10, count 3 blocks down. That's relative. But if I want you to go directly to a place, I just tell you, go to house number 10 on, let's say, Mohammed Street. Once you locate Mohammed Street, you look for house number 10. That is direct reference. And when you use it in Excel, every time the value in the place you are referring to changes, Excel will know. So every time that value is used in a calculation, Excel will update the calculation based on the cell you are referring to. If this sounds too much grammar, let's go into our worksheet and do a little calculation. What you are seeing on this page is a very small material schedule. And like I've said to some of us, I'm from the construction background. Yeah, project management is the main thing I do right now, but I started out, I'm a mechanical engineer, so I started out in the construction industry. So we have what we call our material schedule and our bill of quantities. Now, look at this small worksheet. It's just a few lines, but it will teach you a very practical example of direct reference. Now, you can actually expand it into multiple pages, multiple worksheets, actually. Now, let's say I want to prepare a little mini material schedule for a client. And For the foundation work, I need 50 bags of cement, and I'm buying at 10,000 naira. So the total amount for cement will be, I need somebody to tell me the formula to calculate the total amount of cement. I started with, what's the first thing you type when you want to type a formula? So let's unmute us here so that we can walk through this together quickly. What's the first thing we type? Yes, I just type equals to, how do I get the amount for cement? The total amount to buy 50 bags of cement. Equals to?
The quantity times the unit price.
Okay, 50 times 10,000. I'm going to click on my cells. Yes. So I click on, that's a D7, right?
Yes.
Times, what's my times? Shift 8. I click on the next cell, which is my E7. When I press enter, I get 50,000 naira, right? That's simple. That's straightforward. Now imagine, somebody is saying to me, college is saying to me, no, sir, the price of cement just increased by 500 naira, so it's now 10,500. Oh, no problem. I just simply go into my unit price for cement. Instead of 10,000, I just highlight it and I make it 10,500. I press enter. Have we noticed that my total price has updated to 52,500? Excel does that straightforward for me. Now, we also learned that we can copy down this calculation, right? So I'll drag it down to the first 3 items. So suddenly I have the amount for granite and I have the amount for sand. And I want to do something to this set of cells. I want to put the comma under my format so that the figures are easy to read. So we can see 525,000, 225,000, and then 140,000 for granite, cement, granite, and sand. Now I have the next item there, which is my blocks. So the blocks, 2,000 blocks at 850. Simple. I can actually copy this formula down. I hope we are following me.
Yes, sir.
And I have the price for my blocks. But now I have this dash in a place that is blank. I like to delete that. Can we see cell F10, right? Because there's nothing to calculate, Excel is giving me a dash as a result. I don't want that dash in my worksheet. So I just simply delete it and it is gone. Now, this is where we will use direct reference. And I'm going to tell you why. You're going to see the essence. Now, I've finished my foundation work. I'm now on my block work. But the interesting thing with construction is I use cement in my foundation. I'm also going to use cement in my block work. Now, instead of writing the amount, which is what we call hot coding, I can type in 10,500, right, for cement. Automatically, Excel calculates the result. This is what we call hot coding. But what will happen if the price of cement changes? What do you think will happen if the price of cement changes? Back to 10,000. What should I do? I'll go up and edit the first item, right?
Okay.
Eden, are you there?
Yes, sir.
You're not answering. Robinson is not answering.
Oh, okay.
And
yes, sir.
I'm there.
I need us to answer, so it shows that we are moving together. Now,
Okay,
if the
sir.
price of cement changes, like we did earlier, I have to adjust the price of cement for foundation, right? And
Yes,
I also
sir.
have to go and adjust the price of cement for block work. Now, imagine that your cement appears in 100 places. What do you think that means? You have to adjust the price of cement in 100 places. Do you think that's an easy task?
No, sir.
In 100 places and maybe on multiple pages. It is not an easy thing. And for somebody who have done bill of quantities and material schedule a number of times, if you try to do that, you will get to a point, you will forget to adjust the price of cement in certain places. And let me tell you 2 things that may happen. You may submit your bill and the bill is approved. You find that you are short because you did not adjust the price when it changes. Or somebody will vet your bill and say, this man wants to cheat. Cement here, he put 10,000 naira. In the other page, he now went to put 10,500. He thought we will not check. You see that kind of problem, right? they will assume you are trying to cheat. Now, to avoid that kind of issue, instead of typing the 10,500 in the second place cement or cost, I use what we call a direct reference. All I simply need to do is to type equals to, and then I click on the cell where I put the first price of cement, which is my cell E7. Can we see what I have on my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Equals to E7. Now, if I knew where that cell was, I didn't even need to click on it. I could just type E7. But if I don't know, I just simply, okay, click on it, and it tells me it's E7. So when I press enter, have we noticed that the price of cement is 10,000?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Also notice that in DPC, I also have cement. So I also go there, instead of typing hot coding, like I said, typing the price, I simply press equals to E7. Now, since I know the cell reference is E7, I just type E7. Now, notice, it doesn't matter whether you type it small letter or capital letter. E7 is E7. So when I press enter, have we noticed that the price of cement in the three places is 10,000?
Yes.
Okay, now I need us to get the total for this. So what is the price of granite? How do we get the price of granite? We also use direct reference because we already priced granite before. So equals to, somebody tell me the cell where we have the price of granite.
G8.
No?
E8.
E8, thank you, E8. So I simply type E8 and I press enter. Have you noticed we have the price of granite?
Yes.
Okay, so I need to do this calculation. Can we do that quickly? This is equals to, the plants is equals to 100 times 3,500, enter. And I can drag that down to get the other calculations for cement and granite for the DPC. Now there is a figure I need us to type in, labor. Now you can do calculations for labor, but most times in a bill like this, we just can take labor as a sum. So let's assume that the labor is 200,000. Can we type that in? Everybody? Type in your labor as 200,000 and tell me what is the total. This is why you should be working with me. What is the total for this calculation? Somebody tell me. I'm about finishing mine, but I need you to tell me.
5,002,500.
Okay, who was that? Said?
Yes.
Okay, Said, I'm clapping for you. 5,002,500. Exactly what I got. So it comes out this fast and this easy, even if you have a large bill. But let's take one more step so that to show us the advantage of direct reference. Now, Said, since you've gotten this answer, tell me a new price for cement. I don't care whether it goes up and down. If the price of cement changes, tell me, give me another price for cement. What do you want us to put for cement?
6,000.
8,000. Okay, it's like Said is planning to build his house tomorrow. Okay, now I just edited 8,000 for the price of cement and I press enter. Have you noticed what happened to the price of cement in every place?
Yes.
And have you noticed what happened to the total?
Yes, it changed.
So you don't have to keep going over your whole workbook, looking for all the 50 places or 100 places where you use cement. You can simply change it in one place and it will change in the whole workbook. Eden, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let me tell you guys something else I like to do when I prepare a worksheet like this. I may not even put the place I'm referring to inside my worksheet. I may actually come outside and type in cement. Huh? You understand? I say the price is 8,000. Granite, I type in the price. Say in our case now, granite is 7,500. This becomes where I will always send Excel to by direct reference. So when I need the price of cement, I'll tell Excel to refer to this cell. And this cell, I Can you remember hiding and unhiding?
Mhm.
When I finish my worksheet, I can hide this cell. It will be inside the workbook, but nobody will see it. Now, most times you print your bill of quantities. Even if you share it with a colleague or your boss, you can hide the cell. Nobody will see it. Even if they see it, it's not like it's a crime. It just makes your work easier. Now, our granite is 7,500 presently. Let's change that to 10,000. Enter. You see your result changes immediately. Now I have 4.7 million as this bill. This is simple direct reference. Do we understand this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now let me explain one more thing. I can make direct reference from one page to another page. I don't want you to assume that when you are doing direct reference, it must be on the same page. Imagine that this my bill has 3 pages or 7 pages or 20 pages. I can be in page, let's do something. Let's add a new sheet. Everybody, can we add a new sheet? Click,
Okay.
add a new sheet. On your cell A1, type equals to, have you typed equals to?
Yes,
On
sir.
your new sheet, type equals to, and click on the page we've been working on. Direct reference page, click on the price that we picked for cement. Tell me what you see in your formula bar. Please tell me. What do you see in your formula bar?
Direct reference E7.
That's Excel is telling you what you are doing. And you know we are learning direct reference, right? Excel is telling you you are making a direct reference to E7. So when you press enter, see what happens on your new sheet. What do you have on your new sheet?
The price of cement.
Price of cement. So if you have 10 pages, you can keep referring to the price of cement. Now, if you change the price of cement from your reference point, which is the first place you put cement, or you chose a place to put the reference, on all your pages, the price of cement will change. And I think that's a powerful thing to help you when you are doing calculation. Is direct reference clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's move to the second sheet, which is called relative reference. Direct reference, just simply tell us, the value I have here, I want you to refer to it, and to tell us, you type equal to, you click on the cell or you type in the cell. And so now let's go to relative reference. When you say things are relative in Excel, it means that they move together. When I was younger, they used to use the word pari passu. I don't think I remember what that means, but it means when things move together. So we have this small table here. I want us to do this quick calculation. We have some quantities in stock. We have price. What will be the total value of what we have in stock? Somebody tell me. Equals to what? Tell me. What's the value of apples we have in stock?
C3
Uh-huh.
plus no,
Nope.
multiply.
Yes, times.
Times
Price.
D3.
Okay. D3. So enter. What's the value of apples we have in stock? Hello?
246,440.
Okay, now,
100.
okay, you know it's easier to read your figures when you put your comma, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so please remember to put your comma. It's easier to read your figure when you put your comma. Okay. All right, so this is, now I can simply, I've copied my calculations down. Have you done the same thing? Give me the total, please, quickly. Let me be sure that you copied everything down. What's the total value of the things we have in store? Somebody?
329,460.
3,309,460. Correct. That's the same thing I have. Now, let me show you relative reference. But before I show you relative reference, I need everybody to hear this clearly. Relative reference is the default setting of Excel. What did I just say? Relative is the default setting. I need you to internalize that. It means that if you don't tell Excel what reference to use, Excel will use relative reference. So you know we've been doing calculations like we did last week, right? Once you double click or you drag it down, Excel will copy down. Excel is using relative reference by default. It's not using direct reference. It's not using any other type of reference. We are learning a third type. Now let me show us something. If you click the value of Apple, what do you see in your formula bar? Which cells are calculating to give you the result? Cell what? C3 and what? Look in your formula bar, please. D3.
D3.
Okay. Okay, now double click on your result. You will see Excel will select the two cells. Can you see Excel selecting the two cells?
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
I need you to notice the color of the cell Excel is selecting. When Excel select the cell, it tells you which one is C3. Can you, my own is showing me blue and blue. 122 is blue, so C3 is blue. 2020 is red, D3 is red. Excel is telling you which cells. I just needed you to notice that. Now click on the value for me. Click at the value for me. What are the cells calculating to give us the result? Somebody.
C4 and
D4.
C4 and D4.
And the result is where? In what cell?
E4.
Cell
E4. Cell E4.
Okay, so now look at what's happening. C4 times D4, the result is in E4. Now, if I go to C5 times D5, the result will be in E5. What is happening is, as the results move down one step, the cells calculating to give you the result also move down one step each. Have we noticed that? Now, that is the default setting of Excel. It can actually get you in trouble. That's why we have what we call absolute reference. If you go down one step, the result goes down. The cells calculating to give you the result goes down one step. If you go down 5 steps, the cell, for example, I just clicked on the last result, which is the value of onion, and I'm in cell E18, and the cells calculating to give me that result is C18 and D18, because they are moving relative to each other. If the result moves one step, the cells calculating to give us the result move one step. Is that clear?
No,
Yes.
not really, sir.
That is relative reference. And 1, then 2. That is the default setting of Excel. So you don't need to tell Excel anything. If you notice, we just simply copy the formula down, and Excel did its calculation following itself uniformly. Now, let me show us something, please. Yeah. Let me go back to my calculation. Listen to what I'm doing. Control Shift down. I selected all my results and deleted them. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to click on cell E4, right? And do a calculation. I'm going to do equals to, listen to what I'm going to do. Somebody made this mistake in the assignment, so please learn. Maybe I will not go. I'm actually going over the assignment like this. I said I'll go by it. I clicked on cell C3, and I do times what?
D4.
D4. Have you noticed that I am not, they are not on the same line?
Yes.
Look at what I'm calculating. I'm calculating C3 from row C, and I'm multiplying it by D4 in row 4. Like I said, Excel is a program. It is not a magician. Excel does not know. It does not care whether I wanted to calculate C3 and D3 and I made a mistake. If I give Excel this program, you know when you hear the word garbage in, garbage out. If I give Excel this program, Excel will obey me. And listen to look at what happens when I copy the formula down. Let me click on my result for toilet paper. Let me double click. Have you noticed that I still have that one step down? So I'm getting
Yes.
the number of items in shampoo times the value, the price of toilet paper. So if the result moves down one step, the cells calculating to give me the result, each of them move down one step each. So if you make that diagonal mistake, somebody made the mistake in the assignment, that's why I'm talking about it here. Excel will continue to calculate it like this because by default, Excel will do you relative reference. Excel is not going to correct you. This is where you hear that word, garbage in, garbage out. You give Excel the wrong reference, they are not aligned, Excel will give you the result. But to correct this, all I simply need to do is to go up and say equals to, what am I, sorry. Equals to my C3 times D3, enter. Now I cannot copy this result down. Suddenly, Excel follows the right reference. I hope that's clear. Now let's move on to the last reference I'm going to teach, which is called absolute reference. Now you are going to see the essence of the absolute reference. I need us to calculate, first of all, we have a budget. This is a small example, but it's very useful to teach absolute reference. We have a budget for some certain activity in an organization, and the budget estimate is supposed to be not above 35,000 naira. But now let's look at this item. Can we see the sum of the budget?
Yes.
What's the total?
37,570.
And the goal is let this budget be below 35,000, as close as possible to 35,000. Now, I want to reduce this budget by 5%. This is what we learned in the last class. So I need us, somebody should tell me what is the 5% of 10,000. Somebody quickly. 5% of 10,000 is what? How do you do the calculation? And what's the result? Somebody talk me through the calculation. Hello. What's the syntax? Let me say it like that.
5/100 times 10,000.
Oh, 5/100. We don't do 5/100 in Excel. We do 5% because we have 5% in Excel. It's actually 5/100, but you don't have the time to be doing 5/100. Eh? So you do 5 and you put percent. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
5%. Then you say times. Let me zoom in so that my screen is clearer. So equals to 5% times this figure, 10,000. Enter. Oh, what did I do? %5 of this, 5% times this. What is that? Equals to 5% times this. Enter. 18. Okay, this cell, something's wrong with this cell. I think cell was already formatted as a percentage. Let me clear. Is somebody getting the correct percentage?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
yes, 500 naira.
500.
Okay, equals to 5% times, we are doing the same thing, right? Okay,
Yes.
now the challenge was my cell was formatted as a percentage, so it was giving me something higher. Now, to get the rest of the difference, what do? We copy it down, right?
Yes.
Okay, now I get all the percent. Can we put the difference? What's the difference? What's the new budget now? What will be the new budget? I want to reduce this budget by 5%. What will be the new budget for training?
9.5.
Okay, tell us the syntax. How did you get 9.5? It's equals to the initial budget minus
9C8 minus D8.
enter. So 9.5. So I can copy that result down, right? So what did you get as your total for the new budget?
35,691.50.
Is that below 35,000?
No.
No.
Okay, still above 35,000. It means that we have to go back up and go and change this value of 5%, right? Now, instead of going back and forth, we can make reference to this 5%, which makes it easy for us to, all we simply need to do is change the percentage and then Excel will calculate itself. We're going to do that, get in trouble, and learn what is called absolute reference. So I need us to go back to our cell D8. We can delete everything we've just calculated. Go back to cell D8 now and calculate equals to, you notice that I already have 5% in the place I wrote decrease, right? Hello? Can we see 5%? I said decrease by 5%. So equals to, click on that 5%. What kind of reference is that? Equals to, I click, that's what?
Direct reference.
Direct reference. Thank you. Okay, so equals to that cell, which is 5% times what to get the difference?
Times C8.
Okay, now I want us to do something. Can we ignore this cell called the difference? You guys have been in this class for long enough. This is our final class, so let's stretch a little. I don't want us to calculate this difference and do that minus. I want us to write the function straight together in the new budget column. Can we do that?
Okay.
So the final budget, and let me talk you through the syntax. The new budget will be the initial budget minus 5% of the initial budget. Is that clear?
Yes.
Is that clear? So
yes,
that's the mathematics of the situation. So now we need to write an Excel formula to take the initial budget and minus 5% of the initial budget. So it's equal to, click on the initial budget. Have we done that?
Yes.
Minus, now I need you to open a bracket. This makes you very safe. If you don't open bracket in this calculation, you can get away with it. But I need you to open the bracket. C8 minus, you open your bracket and click on what again, please? Somebody tell me. What's the next thing? I don't want to tell you. Minus what?
C5.
Minus 5%
Yes,
of
that's
D.
C5. Then what's the next thing we should type? C5
times D8.
D8. No.
Ah.
No. C5 times what?
C8.
Times
C8.
C8.
Thank you. Correct. Close your bracket. Huh? Have you closed your bracket? Have you closed your bracket? Press enter. Is the result correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now it's correct. I need to go to C5. Sorry, what's that? C5, yes. Change that percentage to 6%. Huh? Press enter. Look at the result. Can you see the result automatically updating?
Yes.
That's the benefit of direct reference. Now copy this result down. Let's get in trouble and learn absolute reference. Copy it down. Copy it down. Wow. Okay. There's trouble, right?
yes.
Okay, now I need to ask us a question. What is the default reference for a cell? I've taught you 3 references. I taught you 2 already. Direct reference,
Relative reference,
and relative reference. So what does relative reference mean? Was that Said or Collins? Collins, that was you. What does relative reference mean? Yeah, Collins, what does it mean? It means that if the result moves down one step, what does the cells calculated to give the result do?
It moves down to one step down.
Let's look at the cells calculating to give us the result for training. Double click. What are the cells giving us the result? C5 and what?
It's
5 and
C and
C8.
C. Okay, click on the next cell. What are the cells calculating to give us the result?
C6.
Can you see that both of them are moving down?
Yes, sir.
And there's no value in C9, in C6, right?
Yes.
A cell by default will give you relative reference. Now click on the next cell. Can you see what is happening? A cell is using initial budgets to do a calculation. An initial budget is letters. You cannot use letters to do calculation. So a cell keeps going down because it is by default using relative reference, and that is why we are getting in trouble. Now let's correct the problem by making our reference point an absolute reference. And what we want to make an absolute reference is, what is the cell that does not need to move? That's the question we're asking. We are using two cells to do this calculation, right?
Yes.
C5.
C5 and C8 is what is giving us this result. Which of the cells that does not need to move?
C5.
C5.
C5 does not need to move. So now go to your C5. I don't know how your keyboard is, but I need you to put $ behind C, $ behind 5. Now, for some people, Shift F4, Shift 4 will give you $. For others, Alt F4, use Alt F4. It will rotate around the cycles of absolute reference, no reference, relative reference, and then mixed reference. Tell me which one is working for you. Shift F4 for some keyboards. Is it working for somebody?
Yes,
Yes.
it's
Shift
working.
F4. We put a $ behind C. Then you click on the space behind 5. Shift F4 again, we put on the $ behind 5. Then you can press enter. The result is still the same thing, right?
Yes.
It doesn't look like as if anything changes, but something has changed. Now, copy your calculation down. If you were correct, you will get a different result. Very simple. So somebody tell me, what is their present result?
35,315.80.
Okay. So now, is that above or below 35,000?
Is above 35,000.
So if we want to reduce it, what should we do? What should we change?
Change
Increase our
C5.
percentage.
Increase our percentage that we are removing from the initial budget. So somebody want to hazard a guess? Haven't tried. What should we put there? What should we try? Somebody wants to
7%.
7%. So all you simply need to do is, instead of your 6, just change that reference to 7. Press enter. What do we get?
34,040.
34,040.
Now 40. That is close enough to 35,000, right? Now, I need you to notice something in this calculation. When you click on your cell E8, the cells giving you the result are cell C8 and C5, correct?
Yeah.
Now, when you click on your cell E9, the cells that are giving you the result are your cell C9 and which cell again? C5. The reason why C5 is not changing is that you have made C5 an absolute reference. This is very important in Excel. If you learn this, it's going to make your calculations in some places easy. You want Excel to always make reference to a particular cell. Even though every other thing is moving relative, it keeps making reference to that cell. And that's what we call absolute reference. Now, to make a cell an absolute reference, you're actually changing it from the default relative reference. So all you simply need to do is put a $ behind the C. C stands for the column or the row. Let me test us again. Column or row, what does C stand for? Nope. Represents the column or the row. The column, which are the vertical. Then the 7, the number represents the row. So what you are doing is you are locking, I'm using the word deliberately, locking the column and locking the row. Excel will not move left or right. It will not move up or down. It will keep, even if you copy this formula all the way to the bottom, Excel will keep making reference to that cell. And that is why it is called absolute reference. Do we understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much if you understand that. By default, Excel will give you relative reference. But if you don't want relative reference, which in our case we don't want, we can keep a cell locked. So the formula keeps making reference to that cell. Now, I need to quickly move on to the next sheet. So I'm going to stop sharing this sheet. If you have a question, you can ask, but I'm going to stop sharing this sheet and move on to the next sheet, which is our sheet on that sheet number 9, cross sheet calculation. I've talked about this before, so this should be quite fast. So we are moving to sheet number 9 for, I just saw a question in the chat, and I forget to look at the chat. I usually have somebody help me look at the chat, but Greg is not available this evening. So Abdullah, you're welcome. We are on sheet number 9 now. So we're on sheet number 8 earlier. Forgive me, I didn't mention that. So we are on sheet number 9. Can we see my sheet, please?
Yes.
Can we see sheet number 9?
Yes.
Okay, have we opened our own sheet number 9?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you exploit this sheet, you see that, okay, for me, I just call this page my summary page. It's not in your worksheet, I know. I sent the worksheet to you before I added, call this page my summary page. I have January expenses, February expenses, March expenses. And if you remember, I told us the number of worksheets you can open in a workbook is only limited by the capacity of your computer. So if you have a supercomputer, you can open an infinite number of worksheets. So, but if you have a small computer, you can still open 100 worksheets. Your small computer can handle it. Now, imagine I have an organization and I'm incurring expenses, maybe from different locations, Port Harcourt, Lagos, maybe Abuja, or for different months or for different weeks. I can keep putting the result in one sheet after another. So instead of having January, February, and March, I can have week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 of a month. Or I can have Owerri, I can have Port Harcourt, I can have maybe Enugu. But I may want to summarize this result. Now, you don't expect your boss to be looking at page 1, page 2, page 3. No. Usually, anybody upstairs wants to see a summary. So now, how do I easily summarize results in multiple sheets? That's why I just want to bring this to your attention. I've told us you can do calculations across multiple sheets. So let's go to our summary page, which is the page labeled cross sheet calculation. Now, if you have looked at the things I have in each of the pages, I have expenses, computer expenses, training expenses, transport, and miscellaneous for each of these locations for week 1, for January, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and then there's space for total. I'm not even going to bother calculating the total. I'm sure you can calculate that. These are easy things. AutoSum will give you all of these total. I also have the same subject heads or budget heads for February and for March. And I want to summarize them in this worksheet. Now, let me tell you what makes this cross sheet calculation beautiful. You can set up this cross sheet calculation so that when you start imputing data into your worksheet, the calculation will be automatic. Now, this is what I mean. Imagine you are imputing data for week 1, week 2, or maybe day 1, day 2, day 3. You can set up your worksheet in such a way that your summary for the weekend is automatically calculated. So on Friday, they say, give us a summary. Your summary is already ready. Whereas somebody else is sweating and saying, I never calculate Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. If you set up your worksheet and do this cross-sheet calculation, your summaries can be happening all by itself. Once you get to the summary, you just format. You can even set up the formatting. You just send your report quickly and leave the office on Friday and go and enjoy your life. Instead of staying in the office till midnight on Friday because you are trying to do a summary. So let's do this calculation. For January, for example, I want to get the total for computer expenses for January. That will be adding week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4 to get the total. Let me go to January and just show us. Auto sum for computer expenses. I just do auto sum here. I have the 4 of them. Enter. 53,000 naira. That's very clear. That's easy. But I don't want to be going back and forth. So I come to my cross sheet calculation and I say for January, I type equals to, and I say sum. I open my brackets. Now I open my bracket right now by pressing tab. I told us about that last week. Now Excel is asking me for the numbers I want to sum. Now instead of whatever, struggling, I just click on January expenses and select week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. If I press enter, what is the result I'm getting?
53,000.
The same result we got before. Is this clear to anybody? I need you to try it on your own end. Tell me the result for February, computer expenses for February. I haven't done that.
Come again, please.
Okay, now, if I want, while you guys are doing February, I'm going to go over January again. If I want the summary of expenses for January, for computer expenses, I need to sum up week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. If I want the result on this page, I simply click on the total and do auto sum. I have the result. But if I want the result, the same result of 53,000 on my summary page, I will click on where I want the result, which is my January computer expenses, and say equals to sum. I press tab, I open my bracket. Have you come this far? Have you come this far?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
Excel is asking me for
Yes.
what are the numbers I want to sum. Now, these are what I call, I told us that these are called value arguments. What are the numbers I want to sum? I go to my January and tell Excel, sum week 1. I clicked on week 1. I drag it to week 2. I drag it to week 3. And I drag it to week 4. Be careful that you are not selecting anything above week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Because anything you select, Excel will sum it. If you drag it all the way to the total, Excel will sum it. Once I finish dragging my 4 weeks, I just press enter. Excel gives me the result.
Okay.
In my summary page, ask somebody to give me for February. Has anybody done that? Okay, now you guys, have we gotten January?
Yes, we have.
Okay, so give me the result for February. Computer expenses for February. I need that result from somebody.
Okay.
I'm going to select things to be sure you guys are getting it. Computer expenses for February. What's the result? I need to go through the same steps.
33,000.
Okay, does anybody agree with that? I'm going to go test it in February. Computer expenses for February. I select, highlight all of them, and Excel is telling me that it is correct. I've not even done the calculation. I'm just looking at my taskbar. Does anybody remember when I told us about the taskbar?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what I mean now. Let me annotate the taskbar. Can we see the place I highlighted at the bottom? Can we see the place I just highlighted red at the bottom of my screen?
Yes.
That is called the taskbar. And I remember telling us about the taskbar, right? I just simply selected those 4 sets of data that he has done the calculation. For me, without doing the calculation, I just look in my taskbar. I see that the sum of those 4 sets is 33,000, which is correct. That's how I know it's correct. The count is 4. And the average is 8,250 without doing any calculation. Excel just shows me, it's like a preview. Oh, before you even start doing any calculation or struggling, Excel just gives you an idea of what the result will be. So I'm going to, so does everybody agree that the office expenses for February is 33,000? Does everybody agree, please?
Yes.
Okay, now I need us to give me another result. I want transport for March. What is the summary? I'm not going to calculate February. I'm going to put 33,000 because you guys told me. So if you disagree, please tell us it's not correct. If you have not gotten it, please let me know. I'll talk you through it again. I need somebody to give me the transport cost for March.
48,870.
48,870. Somebody needs to agree with him. Somebody needs to agree with him. I'm just typing it in. I'm not doing the calculation. Huh?
48,870.
Okay, so 2 people agree on that. Okay, does somebody else agree? Who is having a challenge getting that result?
I'm having a challenge there.
Okay,
When I press enter, it that there are one or more circular references where a formula refers to its own.
Okay. Now it means that you are doing a calculation, maybe using adding a cell to itself. I don't know how to explain. What other word do I use to? You are doing a calculation. Your cell references. Okay, let me start by saying your cell referencing is not correct. You are referring to a cell within a range wrongly. Now let's talk me through what you did. Which of the results is not correct? I want you to tell me what you did. Who am I speaking to?
Robinson.
Okay, Robinson, let's go over which of the section. What are you trying to calculate? Training for February.
I'm trying to calculate the computer expenses for January.
Okay, let's go over it together. Tell me what you are typing. Equals to, yes. What's the next thing? Yes.
Sum.
All right. If you press tab, you will open the bracket.
Yes, I've done that.
Okay, so what's the next thing you are supposed to do?
Then I went to that worksheet, January expenses.
Click on January. Huh?
Yes.
What is the computer expenses for week 1? Just tell me. Week 1 is what?
3,500.
Click on it and start dragging it all the way to week 4. Can you see this marquee dancing around week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 values?
Yes.
Press enter.
Okay.
It's working?
Yes.
It's working. Okay, so the way you did your cell reference, I think you are referring to a cell already inside your calculation. I'm trying to, so if it is working, then we are good. So you guys told me that, okay, let's get one more thing. Miscellaneous expenses for February. What's the total? I'm not going to calculate. That's the last thing we'll get. Then I'll just show us something and then we'll move on to the next worksheet. Miscellaneous expenses for February. What's it? Miscellaneous for February. So Robinson, please move to miscellaneous expenses for February so that you do it with us. Now I'm going to also do it with everybody. Equals to sum.
86,000.
I open my bracket. I go to February. Where's miscellaneous? I select the entire miscellaneous expenses and I just press. If you press tab or enter, it gives you the same result. Correct. Because that's the same thing I'm getting. Is anybody getting the same result?
Yes.
Miscellaneous expenses. Okay, thank you, Robinson. Now, let me just point out something to us, and before we leave this place and go to the next sheet, I knew this would be short. We already understand calculation. Now, let's go to March expenses, for example. Or let me go to February expenses. Huh? Now, let's take, for example, these miscellaneous expenses for February. I have 33,000 for, I have 1,500 for week 1, 11,500 for week 2. Suddenly, miscellaneous jumped to 33,000 for week 3 and week 4. Somebody said, no, now this is not proper. What is going on here? How can miscellaneous be so high? Let's say for some reason, we check. We realize that, oh, some things that were captured in miscellaneous are supposed to be captured under transport. Something that were in week 3, something that were captured in miscellaneous in week 4 are supposed to be captured under computer expenses. They are not miscellaneous. They should be captured in the right place. Now, I want to make corrections to this. Somebody says he has only 7 worksheets. Oh, Said, thank you very much. Said, yes, thank you, Said. That's why you should have good people in class. So I'll share that worksheet since. Said, thank you for resharing. Okay, so I was saying, let's correct, instead of 33,000, let's reduce week 3 to 13,000. And then instead of 40,000, let's reduce week 4 to 10,000. Press enter. I'm on February expenses, so is everybody with me?
Yes.
I've reduced 33,000 to 13,000. I've reduced 40,000 to 10,000. Now look at your total for miscellaneous. What was it before? Can anybody remember?
Was 86,000 before.
Now, what's it now?
86,000.
So when you make changes on that cell, because this calculation is referring to that other worksheet, the changes take effect here. So you don't have to change things in the place where you are working and then also go to the summary and go and change it. It is time consuming. Now, I'm using very small worksheet to teach this because it's easier to teach with this small worksheet. In your office, most worksheets will not be this small. But I want you to know that these same steps apply. Drawing down your calculations apply. But let me say what may not work. If you have your worksheet broken by blank cells, you can draw. If you do double click to copy that, it will stop at the bottom of the blank cell. If you want it to continue, you need to drag it across by yourself or write a formula in the next section and copy it down. So no matter how long or how large your worksheet is, this cross-sheet calculation will work. Relative reference will work, direct reference will work, cross-sheet calculations will work. Okay, before I move forward, do we understand what we've just done?
Yes, sir.
Before I move on to the next sheet. The next sheet is simple. It's simple. We need to cover, yes. Find and replace charts quickly, yes. So I'm going to move on to sheet 10. We just finished sheet 9, cross sheet calculation. So let me stop sharing. Let me stop sharing, and then I'm going to share. I'm moving on to sheet number 10. We're going to just learn one thing there quickly. Going to learn one thing quickly, very useful in Excel. Just learn it. Now, this is one of the functions in Excel. Okay, now they say that you cannot see my sheet. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. Fine. One day, we had a bill to review, a very large bill. That bill should be up to 100 pages. Now, the question was generator in the bill? Was there generator? We're reviewing 2 bills, 2 very large bills. When I mean very large, over 100 pages each. Now, the question was generator in the bill? One of the bill had generator, one did not have generator. Now, to know, you need to read every page and check. Not just breeze through. You need to be sure that generator was captured in the bill. Now, while everybody was struggling, I simply did Control F and checked for the word generator. Now, I have this bill here. I need somebody to find the word LED. You start scrolling down, right? Can you find it? LED. Can you find it? It should be easy now. I put it in capital letter. You see now, somebody is taking time to find it.
LED.
We're only on a single page. You can see it, right? Cell what? I'm on find.
Cell
Said
10.
it's L.
I'm on the page called find. Can you see my screen? There's LED there on
detail.
set 7. Okay, now notice what I'm saying. This is a single page, right? It's taking us a while to find just a word that I deliberately put in capital letter so that we can even find it easy. Now imagine when you have 20, 30 pages. Now, when I say 20, 30 pages, I'm not saying 20, 30 sheets. Hello, everybody. When we do printing, you will realize that one sheet can give you 100 pages. Are we aware of that in Excel?
Yes.
Now, when you are printing, one sheet can give you 100 pages, can give you 200 pages, one sheet. If you keep putting data, it can give you 500 pages, one sheet. So imagine you are trying to look for information inside 500 pages. Crazy. But you can make it easy by using the find function. So on your screen, there's the shortcut that looks like a magnifying glass. Abi, that's like search. It's your search. That's your find.
Yes.
Now you can click on find and find any letter, any text you want to find. I'm just doing find first. There's find and replace. We'll move on to find and replace in a moment, but I'm just saying find. So I want somebody to find POP. POP, the word POP, find. Have you found it?
Yes.
Can you see how easy it was to find?
E39.
E39. You are not scrolling up and down. That's this your find function, but it actually gets better. Beyond E39, any other place where POP is in this worksheet, I can say find next.
Okay.
Excel will find any other place where that word POP is written. So in our case, we only have POP in E39, sorry, D39 and D40. Can you see that Excel can find the two for you? Find next, D39. Find next, D40. So those are the only two places where there's POP in this worksheet. So if there was no POP, Excel will tell you that Excel won't find anything. We say there's no POP. For example, let me find Tinubu. No, that would not be nice. Let me find what now? Nigeria in this worksheet. Find. We couldn't find what you were looking for. Click options for more ways to search. I hope that's clear, right? What it means is that there's no Nigeria in this worksheet. And like the example I was giving you, when I say find generator, it took me to the exact point where there was generator. And I say, yes, there's generator on so and so page, and this is the value. Simple solution. Now, I want us to take the next step. In this our find dialog box, there's the option called find, and then there's replace.
Yes.
So question is find what? Let's find something we already know is in this worksheet, right? So let's find POP. And then let's replace it with what? Somebody tell me what we should replace it with. I'll leave that to somebody to tell. What should we replace it with? PVC. Thank you. I like that one. This person, you understand construction. So instead of POP ceiling, we want to say ceiling, change of wooden ceiling to PVC in the upper floor. Simple. So now, if you look at the options under, you see match case, match entire cell content. If you say match case, it means that uppercase and lowercase must match. But this time, we are not clicking on match case. If you say match entire cell content, it means that the whole text must match. So, hello? Now, if you look lower down, you see replace all. You see replace. When you click on replace, it will replace only one. When you click on replace all, every place in this worksheet where there is POP, it will replace it with PVC. But if you want to replace only this one, let's say this is the only place where you want to change POP to PVC, If you click replace, you replace one. So in our case, I want us to replace all. Click on replace all. What did Excel tell us? Somebody?
All done. We made 2 replacements.
We made 2 replacements. Now I can click OK and I close my find and replace. What it means is that there were only 2 places with POP in this whole bill of quantities. Excel has found those places and replaced them with PVC. Is that clear to somebody?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, let me tell you where I use this sometimes. When we prepare bill of quantity, we usually write the address and the name, a reference to the location where bill of quantity for Mr. Peter, 12 XYZ Street, Kuje, Abuja. I have that kind of information in multiple places in the worksheet. Now, when I need to do a new bill of quantity for another person, I usually don't start from scratch. I take an old bill of quantity, I just edit certain information. And one of those information is like the address of the person. So I don't need to start looking how many places did the address appear? How many places did so and so appear? I just do find. I find the entire information I want and I replace with Mr. Robinson of FCT Abuja. So without going through all the 10 pages or the 15 pages, I can find certain information and replace. For example, if we are moving from PVC, POP to PVC, easily replaced. Of course, I can change the prices. And you remember when I told us about direct reference? It's possible that I did not put my price into this worksheet. I put my price in a separate page where I list all the price of my items. PVC, I put price. POP, I put price. Cement, I put price on a separate sheet. And you know, I just taught you cross sheet calculation, right? I can make reference to that sheet so that if I change from POP to PVC, when it comes to the price, all I need to do is go to the place where the price of ceiling is. Once I did it, all the price for POP, because I have used direct reference to one place, I change it to PVC price, all the price will automatically update. The total for my whole building project drops 33 million, 50 million, 100 million. It drops there. I don't need to press calculator. I don't need to start updating one thing. What this buys for you is speed. That is find, which is the first thing we did. That is find and replace. Substitute, we do the same thing. So we've actually basically covered on this sheet, find, and then find and replace. I don't want to get into remove blanks. Another test function. I will teach that for intermediate advanced class. I'm trying to cover charts, and then I'll get into printing before today's class is over. I thought today's class will not be too long. Now, let me say a few things concerning the assignment. For those who submitted, I'm going to send you guys, everybody who submitted the assignment, Nengi and every other person who submitted the assignment, I'm going to send you an Excel manual, a PDF Excel manual, something I prepared some time ago. I'm going to send it to you. For those of you who didn't submit, well, that's the way it works. I'm going to send that to you guys for submitting your assignment. I'm that kind of teacher. So I'm going to send it to you guys. Now, let me say something about the assignment. Most people got the calculations right, but 1 or 2 people got it wrong. I think I did make some notes here. Now, like I told us when we are doing our relative reference, somebody did his first calculation. I'm using the word somebody. Please look at your calculations again. And this particular person, you formatted your page green and formatted some fonts multiple colors. Don't say anything. I don't want anybody to know who I'm talking to, but you are in this class, so don't even say a word. Don't just pen. You formatted your entire page green. It was beautiful, but not legible. I could barely see the text. Now, when you are doing formatting, it's not beauty we are looking for. We want it to be legible. Don't just format everything. Now, somebody formatted his own. The title was well formatted. He made it very legible. That was good. Now, the person who formatted his page green, when you wrote your first function, you wrote D3 plus E3, when you are doing your deductions, instead of D3 plus D4, you did D3 plus E4. So you took one cell up and moved one step down. And when you copy the formula down, we remember relative reference. I showed you that example in relative reference, right? When you copy the formula, you kept copying down like that. And so your answer was wrong. That's one. Then two, somebody did, I said do percentage deduction to monthly net pay. I remember correcting that in class, but somebody did percentage deduction to annual net pay. I know that was the mistake on the worksheet, but I corrected it in class. So look at it again and correct that. Then somebody got the calculation right. I think the first answer was 0.41 and left it at 0.41. That is not correct because we told you to give us a percentage. Now, when you get 0.41 as your result, all you simply need to do is to click percentage in your format, and 0.41 suddenly moves to 41% because the result you are looking for is in percentage. So it should be 0.41% instead of leaving it as 0.41. Beyond these small things, I think most of us got the calculation correct. Next time I give out that assignment, I'm going to add formatting to it because some of us sent the assignment back without trying to do any serious formatting, except only one person formatted properly. So for the rest of us, hey, play with the assignment. If you share it with me, I don't know, there may be no worksheet for you, but there may be worksheet for you as well. So I'm going to share, okay, I'm sharing the next, can we see the next worksheet, please? Charts, that's worksheet 11. I'm trying for us to get through a few charts, and then we are going to move on to a couple of charts here, but we cannot go through all. Let's get through a few charts. It will give you an idea of charts, and then we'll move on to printing, which is where we'll end this fourth section of all the classes we've been covering. So are we on sheet 11?
Yes.
Okay, before I start playing with charts, we are going to start with pie chart. I will explain something. When you take data, if you deal with 1,000 rows of data, you've not started. If you deal with 1,000,000 rows of data, you're starting to start. When you deal with multi-million rows of data, which Excel can handle easily, then you are starting to deal with data analytics. Now, when you are presenting that report or result to somebody, you can present it in such a way that the person goes through the same 1,000,000 rows of data. Then you are not a data analyst. When you are finished analyzing data, you should present it in such a way that anybody who looks at your final worksheet, your final result, sees a summary of the data quickly. What are the key things the person needs to know? That's where formatting is important. What are the key things the person needs to know? Totals, percentages, what is the highest performing, lowest performing, all those kind of main information that the person is interested in should pop out in your data. It's like data analysis is like summarizing 1,000,000 rows of data, 2,000,000 rows of data with 50 columns, summarizing it into one page so that when you give somebody an A4 page, they can see exactly what is going on in the data set. Now, one of the easiest way to present that is using your charts. Now, this will take us into some basic charts, but when you do advanced data analytics, yes, this will form the foundation for more advanced charts. And then when you do Power BI, you just find that what Power BI has done is it takes all of these charts and push them together. Now, even if you don't do Power BI, you can take these multiple charts in Excel in our advanced class and create what we call the Excel dashboard. Now, Excel dashboard is not something out of this world. Power BI is an advanced Excel dashboard. Like I said in my introduction, I don't want you to look at Excel and think it's something out of this world. No. One step at a time, you can do it one after the other. Now, this is what I mean. Your ordinary pie chart, your ordinary bar graph, your ordinary histogram, when you put them together, that's when you create what we call the Excel dashboard. The Excel dashboard is not something magical. It's those same things you put together. Now you can add slicers, you can add filter. It makes your dashboard to change automatically. Just click a slicer, it will update. Click a filter, it will update. Yes, we teach that in the advanced class. And for those who haven't registered, there's an advanced class this weekend in Abuja. There's an advanced class upper weekend online. So for those who haven't registered, what we have covered are basic. Now, we're starting to go into intermediate conversations, but we have advanced class where we go more into this, everything we've covered. Like I told you, test function, we just covered one. We go deep into our test functions, we go deep into charts, we go deep into even the Excel dashboard. And for some people who have asked, oh, do you teach pivot tables? I do teach pivot tables, I do teach Power BI, but there's no way we can cover it in a basic class. So if you need all of those other conversations, I'm all yours. The advanced class is happening in Abuja next week. You can hit me up about that. Then the advanced class online is happening in 2 weeks' time. That's from 7th of August. So all of the information are in the group. So you can sign up quickly for any of the classes. So like I was saying, we are going to start from what is the basics here by just creating simple things. Now, what else I will tell you about charts is when you look at a section, with experience, you start to learn what chart to use. Somebody will ask me, why should I use a pie chart? Why should I use a bar chart? With experience, you start to learn what works. But this is one key thing I will tell you. Pie chart is the simplest chart you can make. But you don't use pie chart when you have too many variables to chart. When you have like 5 items, 6, 7, 8 items, it's very easy to use pie charts. But when you have items that are up to 10, 11, 20, pie chart becomes very inadequate. Now you start to use bar chart, line graph, and all of that. So I'm on the pie chart, on the page titled pie and column. So let's start with the pie chart. That's the simplest chart. We're going to do a couple of charts. Then we are going to learn how to format charts. Then we are going to move on to printing. Let me see how fast I can cover this because I insist on teaching printing. I insist because when you've done all of this data, most times you're not going to share it from your laptop, a soft copy. Even if you are going to share it a soft copy, when you prepare for print, it helps you to share it in a format that people can easily see what you have analyzed and presented. So now let's deal with the pie chart. Do we have all our sheet 11 up? Hello, people. Do we have our sheet 11 up?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, now, do we have this ABC auto dealership?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to select the entire data under. Now, I use the word under. I'm not selecting it with ABC deliberately. I can select it with it. Excel will leave it somewhere. I don't need that presently because it's a pie chart. I can always put the title later. Select the entire data here from tires all the way to 6,000, which is the entire set of data. I can click inside and do Control A. I can select that. If you click off F1, it will give you recommended chart, but I don't want you to do the shortcut first. Click on Insert. For most of you, there may be a shortcut to charts on your screen if you use a big laptop, but if not, click on Insert. Now, in the middle of your screen, you can see charts. Can you see charts? There's a whole group called charts. Now, we are not going to do pivot chart here. That's an advanced thing. We're not even going to touch line chart. There's a lot of charts here. Sliders, no. Now, I need you to click on the one called pie. Click on the drop down. We are going to pie charts. Start with the 2D pie chart. Donut chart is a very sweet chart. It's as simple as a pie chart. So if I teach you one, you can play with the rest. In the next class, we have some fun with the donut chart. So just click on the pie chart. Simply, you have a chart. That's one way of inserting a chart. It's as simple as that. Now, if you notice, I have the option of chart title. Like I told you, I can type in my chart title and also have the option of legend at the bottom. I can leave it there, I can remove it, I can create a new one. That will do when we start to format chart element. So this is the simplest way of inserting a chart. Select the text, go to insert and insert the chart. Does anybody have their chart inserted? Is this straightforward? Do we have a pie chart? I heard one yes from Robinson. Saeed, do you have your pie chart?
Yes, sir.
Okay, who else has their pie chart? Who doesn't have their pie chart? Collins, do you have your pie chart? Hello, Sammy. I'm looking at the guys in the room. Oluwatosin, do you have your pie chart? Okay, Barbara says yes in the chat. Now, some people are not answering me, so I'm trying to be sure that you have your pie chart. I'm going to move on. Is there anybody having a challenge putting in their pie chart? I'm going to repeat this through another step before I move on to the next chart. Is there anybody having a challenge putting in their pie chart? Nobody is having a challenge. So I'm going to delete this chart. Sorry. I'm going to delete this chart and do something else. Now you can insert a chart and then select the data for the chart. I just want us to take that step. And then I'm going to talk about recommended chart. Now, I've not selected anything. So Excel will wonder, what do I want to do? I want to insert a chart. So I click on insert and I go to my charts. I select the chart and I insert once again my pie chart. Now you notice that I have this blank page here. We actually have a chart, but I don't have data inside it. So suddenly, if you look on my menu bar, you see that I have a context menu called chart design. Does anybody have that on their menu bar? What did I say a context menu is? Somebody remind me. What menu? What is a context menu? Can somebody remember? Okay, let me refresh your mind. A context menu is a menu that shows up depending on what you are doing per time. Like right now, I'm working on chart. Chart design is showing up as a context menu. If I wasn't working on the chart, it won't show up. That's a context menu. You are a data analyst, so you start to use our phrases. You are a member of the industry, so you use phrases. Context menu, that's what it is called. So there's an option that says select data. So I click on select data, there's the chart data range there. If you like, you can click on it, but it is by default selected, and I select the data I want to chart. When I click OK, I have my pie chart. So those are two ways of inserting a chart. You can select the data and go and select your chart, or you can select your chart and select your data. Whichever way you go, you get the same result. Now I'm going to delete this chart one more time. No, I'm not going to delete it. I'm going to move on to the next chart. We are going to move on to the next chart, and I'm going to talk about recommended chart here. Time is running fast, so let me move fast. Now, we have finished with our first chart. I'm going to reduce the size. Now, I have this second data set here that says for column chart, monthly sales for January to December. Do we have that? Are we there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So select the entire data set from monthly sales all the way to December. Don't select beyond the data set you need. If you select empty spaces, Excel will try to chart it for you, but okay, it won't chart anything. If you select beyond the data you need, Excel will add it to your chart. So I've selected the data set. Click on Insert, and then go to recommended charts. Let me know when you are there. Click on insert, then go to recommended charts.
But I'm there.
Okay, now what is the first recommended chart for you on your at your end?
Line.
Line. What else
chart.
is there? Yeah, what else is there?
Column.
There are other options.
Cluster.
Just
Cluster column.
Yes. What else is
Stack.
there?
Stacked area.
Area.
Okay, you have stacked area. For me,
Yes.
I don't have stacked area. I have okay. I have stacked area. Yes, okay. I have pie chart according to Excel. This pie chart, well, it's manageable, even though there are 12 items, but it's quite cumbersome anyway. Now, what is recommended charts? Yeah? This for me is an example of the intelligence of Excel. Now, everybody keeps talking about AI, artificial intelligence. When I started digging deep into Excel, I said to myself, this is the beginning of artificial intelligence. Excel will look at your data set and recommend charts to you. Basically, that's what AI will do. That's some level of intelligence. Excel assesses your data and says, oh, when I say recommended chart, this chart will be good for what you have. Now, the thing is, you don't have to use the recommended chart. Most times, Excel is correct, but sometimes you don't want the recommended chart. Maybe all you want, maybe you were told, can you represent this in a pie chart? You cannot go ahead and use, let me say, line graph because Excel recommended it for you. But most time, Excel gives you something close to what you need. Now, Excel would not recommend a chart that is so out of the ordinary. Now, let me mention to us, please. If you don't select any data, recommended charts won't work because Excel won't have any data to intelligently analyze. So in our case, somebody tell us which chart we should choose. I want to pick cluster column chart because I said we're going to column chart, right? So
Yes.
I click on cluster column chart and I click OK. Excel drops it for me straight. Now I got this from recommended charts. If you select the first set of data we used before, you will notice that the first chart Excel will recommend to you will be our pie chart because Excel looks at that data and thinks, oh, this data is very good to analyze with pie chart. And we also agree with Excel on that matter. So Excel can recommend charts to you. Most times they are correct, but you don't have to follow Excel's recommendation. Now, I need us to do stack column chart. We already did cluster column chart. I have this information here, and for January, I have sales and profits. February, I also have sales and profit. Now, I want to stack them. So stack means put one on top of the other. That's our stack column chart. So I'm going to select the entire set of data, and I'm going to go to my insert and ask Excel to recommend chart for me. See what Excel will recommend. Okay. Excel is making different recommendations. I'll tell you the truth. A line chart will be very good for this kind of data. Now let's do something. Can we add a line chart quickly, everybody? Line chart, tell me when you've added a line chart.
Done.
Okay, carry it to the side and reduce the size. Huh? Have you done that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go to insert again. Now, under recommended chart, click, wait now, what is this now? Stack, no, I don't want stacked area. I want stacked column chart and click OK. Oh, no, I've done some. Yes, select this again. Recommended charts. I made a mistake. Let me undo that step. Okay, fine. I want to insert a second chart from the same data set. That's actually what I'm doing. I did not unclick from the first chart, so it allowed. This is actually where I'm going to. Now, I've just inserted a second chart from the same data set. I needed to do that so that nobody assumes that, oh, because I have used this data set to insert one chart. I cannot use it for another chart. Now, this is how you create the chart you put in a dashboard. You can use one data set to do two types of charts so that you can analyze two different things on the same data set. So when you put like a filter, it can show you different things from the same data set. So has anybody inserted two charts from this data set?
Yes, sir.
So which chart did you insert?
Line chart and stacked column.
Okay, who else has done that? Who else has done that? I want to insert one more chart and then we'll do some analysis. We'll do some analysis. We'll do some chart formatting. Sorry, I didn't mean analysis. Chart formatting. Is anybody having a problem putting in these charts?
No.
Okay, okay. Somebody said yes in the chat group. Okay, now I want to put in a chart to allow me teach us on chart area formatting. Because it's not enough to put in a chart. These charts are not looking fantastic at all. How do you make your chart look better? How do you make it more presentable? So I need us to select this same data set, but not everything. Just select the months and the sales only and insert a column chart. That should be quite simple for us now. Recommended chart, I want a column chart, and I say, okay. That's straightforward for us now. I want to carry that column chart somewhere so that it's separate from the other thing so that we can play with this chart. Okay. Let me know when you've inserted it so that we can quickly play with. Time is running like crazy. I want to spend 5 minutes here and go to printing. I thought this class would be short, but it's longer than I thought. Are we here, please?
Yeah.
Okay, now what I want to teach us is formatting chart area. Now this chart is a bit bland. It doesn't have any formatting. This is default formatting for the chart area. Now there are a lot of things I can change in the chart area. I can change simple things like, do I want chart title? Now, if you click on the chart area, can we see our plus? That's called our chart elements. I'll go there. Then this paintbrush is for formatting the chart style, the color and all of those things. And then at the bottom, there is chart filters. We can remove some things I think that's actually the easiest. So in these chart filters, I can decide I don't want to see January, February, March, April, May, June. That's 6 months of the year. I say apply. Have you noticed that they have disappeared? But if I want them back, okay, praise there. All of them have disappeared. This is chart filter. So this helps you to remove some part of the chart, but I want to leave all of them so that we can go to our chart analysis. What happened? Something is missing. January back, February back, March back, May back, April back. Apply. Okay, I want all of them back. I don't want to filter anything. Okay, now let me click on chart element and just try and talk us through. Axis. Do I want the two axes? If I uncheck it, I won't have my axis title. Can you notice that this chart, all the axis title, January, February, March, and then the figures are disappearing when I uncheck axis title, the axis.
Yes.
Now the next thing is my axis title. Do I want to put a title? Trust me, it's better you put an axis title, because if somebody looks at this, my chart, he just sees months. He doesn't understand what does this month. There are months, what do they represent? So I can put a title by checking the axis title. I can put here, months of the year. Now, when my axis title show up, I can edit it just by highlighting it. So I can type months of the year. Or I can call it, okay, this somebody already understand there are months. I can write here 2025. Now that gives this month more meaning. So this January, February, March are for the year 2025. Now, on the left title, or sorry, on the horizontal title, I can also adjust, edit the axis title and call it my sales, because that's what this is representing. Now, this title, I can as well edit it. It's not actually just sales, it's sales for who? For what period? Sales for, let me call it SYZ company. You can edit each of the area of your axis, the chart title, and then the axis title. What else can you edit here? What else can you change? Data labels. What are data labels? Click on data labels. Somebody tell me what shows up. Let me know somebody is with me. Before I tell you what are data labels, they will show up, so you tell me, what are data labels? Click on it. What happens? Yes, somebody tell me what happens when you click on data labels. Yes, Said?
I think it's putting the exact number of each month on it.
Fantastic. You know, when you look at your chart like this, you start guessing, Abi. Is it 150? Is it 145? There's that guess about, but when you add data labels, it tells you that this is exactly this figure. Now, let me tell you something about data label. My own are looking very clumsy, right? I can click on the text and reduce the font size. You know the normal way you edit font in Excel. These are looking too big. So I go to my home and I reduce the font size. Instead of 9, I made my own 5. Let me say 6, so that my data labels are smaller. So if I uncheck it, it goes away. Now the next thing is data table. When I want to add the data table to my chart, I never do that, because you already have your table and it makes your chart very cumbersome. So I don't want to add it. Even if I need it to show up, I put my table separate. Okay, I don't want error bars. Legend, of course, I like to have my legend. I also like to have grid lines. Grid lines are these lines across your set of your bars. It helps you to read out the figures easily. I like grid lines. I like legend. Legend is what explains to you what are the items. Now, if you do like a bar chart that has multiple colors for different items, or a pie chart that have multiple colors for different items, a legend tells you that blue stands for this, red stands for this. And then, okay, train line. Do I want a train line? I rarely use a train line. So that's for chart element. And the other thing I want to talk about is formatting your chart style. Now, when you click on formatting chart style, Excel has some automatic chart style you can choose from if you like it. I rarely use this automatic because they usually have something I don't like. They have some things I like and some things I don't like. So what I do is, even if I choose any of them, I edit some of the chart elements. I'm not going to have time to cover all of it because I have less than 20 minutes and I want to make sure I touch printing to close this class. Finally, let me talk about color. All of these different colors are Excel theme colors. You can change your charts. Now, I'm going to leave us on chart here. I know that I didn't do a deep dive in chart, but forgive me. Time is running fast, and I still want to try and end the class. I thought by now the class will be wrapping up before 10. Allow 1 or 2 questions, and then let's talk about what's next. Like I said, this class continues online, intermediate to advanced. It continues live, intermediate to advanced. Live in Abuja for now. I'm waiting for us to agree on time for MENA people. But online, it continues. So now, this is for formatting colors. Let me move on to my last worksheet so that I can try and wrap up the class. Allow 1 or 2 questions before time runs away. My last worksheet is my printing worksheet, and I want to make sure I touch it before I close the class. Printing. That's worksheet 12, which is actually the last worksheet of this section. So somehow, some way, we've tried. I know I didn't do a deep dive in charts. We'll do it when we get to the next slide. Can we see this worksheet called printing?
Yes, sir.
Can we see my worksheet? Okay, let's do print preview. Control P. See how it looks like. Does this look very legible? And it's actually showing me page 1. If you look at the bottom, you will see when you do print, how many pages is it showing you? It's at the bottom if you look. Let me show
5.
us where. 5, right?
Yes.
Yes, see. Page 1 of 5. Now click onto page 2. Click page 2. Click on the arrow and go to page 2. Can you see the information in page 2?
Yes.
Does that really make sense? Do you want it
No.
there? Page 3.
No.
I have some things in page 3. Now let me tell you what used to happen to me, or what I still see happen to some people. If you don't arrange your worksheet properly to print it, when you print, your data will scatter into multiple pages. They're supposed to be in one page. You will not see people putting the A4 paper together and stapling them together. Have you seen things like that? Some information on the one page, others are in another page. Now, 2 things here. First is to format your worksheet and prepare for printing. That's 1. I teach that. I encourage that a lot. 2, instead of sending to print from Excel, never send to print from Excel. That's my rule. Never send to print from Excel. Save your Excel file when you finish your formatting, which is what we are going to do in this class. Save your Excel file, print to PDF or save to PDF and print from PDF. The reason is once you convert a file to PDF, if it gives you 5 pages and you send to print, it comes out as 5 pages, it does not change. If it gives you 1 page, it comes out as 1 page. And because you have saved it to PDF in a print format, you can preview what you are about to print without wasting paper. Do you understand what I just explained?
Yeah.
In the PDF version, you can see how it will look like when you print. So do well to first save to PDF before you print. Now we are going to do some few things together. Our first name, the column is too wide. What's the fastest way to reduce that column? Somebody tell me. Quickly. To reduce the column, for double click. Now, what is the fastest way to reduce all of the columns together? Select all of them from the top and then double click. Did you see all of my own have compressed once? I need you to do that. Is it working for somebody? Instead of double clicking C, double clicking D, select all of them from the top and then just double click once. So all of it will shrink to the minimum size. Now, I need us to click inside this worksheet. Select the title, which is our first name, and make it bold. Have we done that? Let's run through this formatting quickly so that we can do print preview again. Have we made our title bold? Somebody answer.
Yes.
Answer moves me forward. If nobody says yes, mentally I'm waiting. So click inside the works inside this data set and do Control A so that you select all the data. Control A did not select everything. Why is it not selecting the number? Okay, let me say select all the data. All the way, there are just 51 rows of data. Select all of them. Make this font size 13. Can we do that?
Yes.
Font size 13.
Done.
Okay, now when I made the font size 13, some information are now cutting. So I should select everything again and double click so that everything is showing up again. You understand? Because I increased the font size, some text started cutting again. So quick way, I select everything, I increase the font size. Now the top row, which is my title row, I want to just fill the back. Just with a light shade of gray, just to feel. Have we done that? Okay, now select all of the information again. We want to put in borders. I don't want you to do it the way we did it before. Select the entire worksheet. Have you done that? Selected the worksheet? Have you selected the entire worksheet? Do Control 1. Do you know the number 1? Do Control 1. Tell me what pops up. Control and number 1. What pops up? Somebody, Control and 1. After selecting everything, Control and 1.
Format cells.
Format cells. Okay, now click on border. This is the format cell dialog box. Click on border. Then click on outline and inside. This is a long way. The shortcut is on your screen, but I just remember that I didn't teach this. This is the format cell dialog box shortcut, Control 1. I remember I didn't mention it. So I've clicked my outline and inside, and I click OK. And suddenly all my borders appear. Do we have this? Have we added our borders? Of course, the first way is to click on the shortcut on the screen and say all borders. Okay, now I want us to do something for me before we do our print preview. You see this information on column K. All the information on column K, they are not part of my worksheet, right? So I don't want to print it. I can select it and delete it while I want to print. But if I don't want to delete it, I can select the area I want to print. When I tell Excel print, I tell Excel print selection only. So I select the information I want to print without deleting that. So I click on File and I say Print, so that Excel will show me print preview. How many pages are you seeing now?
3.
3. So let's click to page 2. Does page 2 make sense now?
Yes.
What of page 3? I said I didn't want to print the things in page 3. Did I not say I didn't want to print the thing in page 3?
Yes.
So under my print setup, I can tell Excel, oh, I want to print only the things I selected. We also have the option of telling Excel to print from page 1 to page 2. So if I say OK here, Excel will only deal with page 1 and 2. Of course, Excel is even giving you the option of saving it to PDF straight, but I don't want to jump myself. Let me close that. So you see the option of printing only page 1 and 2, right? So that you don't waste. Now let's do save to PDF. I can do print and do print to PDF, but I prefer to show you. Click on File. You should have, except you don't have Adobe PDF on your laptop, you should have Save as Adobe PDF in the drop-down from File. When you click on File, do you have Save as Adobe PDF?
No, sir.
You have it?
Nope. I have Adobe.
You don't have Adobe on your laptop then. Who has it?
I have it.
Okay. Okay, click on Save as Adobe PDF.
Okay. Click on it.
Yes, so issue there. Mine is generating a preview. What is that? Let me close this.
Oh, okay. Mine is saying you can create one PDF for every 30 days.
I don't even want, well, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. Excel is active. Save as. Okay. Ignore Save as Adobe PDF. Click on Save as. Click on Save as. This is faster. Choose a location in your system, anywhere you want to save it as. Under the Save Type As, we'll change it to PDF. This is faster for me. So the person who said does not have PDF, Click on Save As. This would solve your problem. I believe this will solve the problem. Everybody click on Save As. Are we there?
Yes.
Save As will save your file supposedly save your file in a new location. So now the title is still 12 printing, but I can change that title to anything. Let me change the title to PDF. You can change the title to anything you want. You can decide to leave the title. But where I'm going to is Save Type As. Click on it. Now, when you that don't have PDF, when you click on Save Type As, do you have PDF in this option? Please check for me. I expect this will solve the problem. Save Type As.
Yes.
Has anybody seen PDF?
Yes.
Click on PDF. It means you have changed the type. Have you done that? You change the type to PDF. Can you see the Save Type As? It's not PDF. Now, there's this option under. Now, in option, I can say print all, or I can say pages 1 to 2. You remember we changed 1 to 2 earlier, Abi?
Yes.
Or if I selected the range of cell I want to print, I can tell Excel print selection. I can say print entire workbook. Now, these are print options. I don't have the time to go through all of them. I'm not even completing things I can teach in printing. We'll do it when we do. We actually have printing too in the next class. So now, haven't done this setting. All I simply need to do is click OK here and then click Save. For me, Excel will generate a PDF and actually automatically open it for me. Is it doing the same for anybody? Excel will generate a PDF and save it where you told it to save it and actually open the PDF for you. Does anybody have a PDF file?
Yes, sir.
You have a PDF. Can you scroll through the PDF and see how many pages it has?
Just 2.
Just 2, because you selected page 1 and 2. Now, let me tell you why I like this. If you print out this PDF file, this is exactly how it will come out. Nothing else will come out. Now, see like I explained to you earlier, the other reason why I like it. If we did any adjustment that is not correct in this PDF file, all you simply need to do is to close this PDF or just ignore this PDF, go back to your Excel, correct all the formatting, and save as PDF again. Have you wasted any paper? No. Have you printed? Have you wasted ink? No. You can see what the print will look like before you print. By the time you save to PDF like this, you can just preview what you will print and then print. When you try to do it from Excel, you can see the preview and still get in trouble. I know what I'm saying. Excel does not give you the same accuracy that PDF gives you. And then the second thing is, most times you may want to share your Excel document in PDF format. If you don't want somebody to edit your Excel document, this is how to share it. They can only read and not edit. And most times that's the best way to share your Excel document. You can email it, you can share it by WhatsApp or any way, or you can simply print. Okay, it's 5 minutes to 10. Permit me to pause this class for now and to say thank you for everyone that has been part of the class. It's been 4 weeks. When we started, I thought, man, we're going to go through 4 weeks, but 4 weeks and we are still here. But we are not done. We just done introduction to data analytics with Excel. Excel has intermediate and advanced. Then we have Power BI, we have Python, we have SQL, we have Tableau, we have Spark for data analysis. Like I told us in the introduction, do you need all of them? No. You can actually stay on Excel and become a good data analyst. If you want to push it one step further, add Power BI to it, you are good to go. Or you can leave Power BI, add Tableau to Excel, you are good to go. You want to take it a step further, add Python, add SQL, hey, you become something else in data analytics. all your core, but it's a long journey. It's not a journey you do in one day. It's not a journey you do in 1 week. Excel itself can take you so long. I'll tell you one secret. I'm still learning Excel. Of course, I'm still learning Excel. And one of the reasons is Excel keeps getting updated. They added some new functions last year to Excel that I started learning this year. Because once they improve Excel, they add new things. And there are some things in Excel that I don't even know. I'll tell you that. There are some things, the financial part of Excel, financial things in Excel that I bothered not to learn because I usually don't do deep level financial modeling. For some people, that is their area of focus. But for me, no, I'm more into data analytics. So I focus on my area. Instead of me to spend time on that, I'd rather spend time on Power BI or spend time on something else that I am more comfortable with. So, I'm going to take 1 or 2 questions while we try to round up the class. But like I said, we have the online intermediate to advanced class coming up from the 7th. The flyer is in the group. You can register. Then we have the live class coming up in Abuja. You can sign up as well. So whichever ones you are signing up for, please let me know. You can chat me up. My number is up in the group. Any of the admin in the group, you can speak to them. Of course, you can chat me up. My number is up in the group. So I'm going to pause the class here, really. When I won't say end the class, and take 1, 2 questions before we wrap it up. It's 1 minute to 10, and I would like us to end the class. So, yeah, who has any question that they want me to deal with quickly? If we can't deal with it here, I can always deal with it outside the class. Is there any questions, please? Something you don't understand, something you try to do but it didn't work. Okay, so in the absence of any question, it's 10 p.m. and I would like to thank you all once again. And like I said, this is introduction to data analytics. There's a lot more ahead of us. So if you guys want to take the very next steps, reach out to me. We are all here for you. Myself and every other person on the team. I appreciate you guys for your time and for staying true. So for those who submitted the assignment, I will share what I promised with them. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that I can just, for the last time, put on my video. And if you can, if you have not removed your wig and your makeup have not scattered, you can put on your video while we try to say good night. Jide, thank you very much. Yeah, you can put on your video. I like to see some faces. Some faces I know, some faces I don't know. I know Abdullahi's face. Who else? Zainab was not in class. Somebody find Zainab for me. Zainab was not in class. So can you put on your video? I like to see 1 or 2 faces. Yeah, I want to see 1 or 2 faces. You can see my face while
I don't have neighbor here.
Yeah, don't say it loud. Don't say it loud. Though. Are you in Nigeria? Okay, now I can see Robinson. Robinson, you are chilling. Hey, Baba Jide. Jide, all right. I see that face. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you very much for all the support. Yeah, who else? Yes, Jide. Thank you very much. You are chilling. All right. So to everyone, thank you all very much for being part of the class. I missed Zainab in today's class. I did miss Zainab. Mohammed, thank you very much. Yeah, Eden, thank you very much. It's been my pleasure sharing. Hey, Eden, you are ready for class with your earphone. Nobody can disturb you. Eden is always the first person in class, and I'm very grateful. Saeed, thank you very much. Saeed, somebody doing well. Cannot disturb you. Your earphone is on. Saeed, good to see your face. Good to see your face. Thank you all very much for being part of the class. And what one of my mentors, Kule Young, will say, if we are related, we will meet again. So if we are related, this is not the last time we'll be meeting. Barbara, good to see you join the class. If we are related, we'll meet again. Online or in person, it's been my pleasure being your instructor. Trust me, it's been my pleasure. It's been fun teaching this class, and I've thoroughly enjoyed teaching this class. Only a few people who know me know how much I enjoy teaching classes like this. Free, paid, whatever, online, offline. It's been my utmost pleasure teaching this class. Thank you for being part of the class, and I look forward to our next classes. Let's all learn together. Like I told you, I'm still learning Excel. I'm still learning more things. So let's all learn together. If you push me, I push you. We can all learn together. Thank you very much for being part of the class. Good night and God bless you.